get that?
Almost dead.
Nice.
Okay.
I have a splinter. You ready? Okay. I have a splinter! Hey guys, what's up? Tank! You wanna wrestle? Yeah! What's up? Hey guys, what's up? Today we're gonna show you how to change a track and some drivers and put an anti-stab kit on. This is a buddy's sled, an Axis, I think it's a 2020, 2021 right in there. Kid plays football up in Montana, actually at Carroll. He gave me this hoodie, so we're gonna represent today. But he's a lineman, 55 just ain't cutting it, so we're gonna put 165-275 on it for him. And we'll show you what that entails and a couple things that we do to make it easy. Having a buddy to help is obviously, you know, a lot easier. So yeah, we'll get into it and show you what's going on.
You need a T40 Torx, a 17 for the skid, whoops, and a 15 for your belt drive and the secondary. I use a screwdriver for these little plastic darts. Need this one, that one's out. Need this one right here. Come on.
Steal it? Sure. Pop these out. Well, that one's already gone. And that one's already gone. That makes it easy. Probably from last time you put a track on.
Take the belt off first. Screw this little doodad in there. Gets loose enough. Pull that off. We always hang the belt there so you don't kick it around. That was the 15. Take this off. Make sure your washers stay on too. Don't lose those.
It's good, and we'll flip it over and pull it right out.
Man.
Hopefully the drive shaft's not stuck.
You got 6 of these. Oh, I might need that extension.
You want an extension?
Please. What? Long.
What?
This plate off. Those in your tray so you don't lose them. Probably should take the skid off. The skid bolts.
So guys, Lars showed you what to do on the clutch side between the secondary and the belt and the flangettes over there. I'm going to show you right here. We're going to take this quick dry belt off. Pretty simple. It's not stuck. Oh, come on, baby. There we go. Just like that. We're gonna put this stuff in our little magnet tray. And now we're ready to pop the skid bolts, flip it over, fall right out. Then we're gonna pop the 4 skid bolts out of here, tip it over, and it should come right out. We might need a 1/2-inch gun. I should break the bolt off. God, that would be a shit show. Cut to commercial.
Oh yeah.
There's that. Pop that bad boy out. Oh my God, that's tight.
Good. Yeah.
I hope it's just not spinning the shaft though, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, there she went.
Hit it and up with the gun on it.
Yeah.
You know, and you just broke the rust loose. It hasn't been greased. I don't know, we'll see.
Oh.
Here. So sometimes when it's doing that, if you put a little bit of weight on it, now do it.
No.
The smart thing to do is to knock both of them loose.
You want to throw that one back in?
Take these 2 out. It's really hard to get them back to once you take these 2 out, and then I can usually probably push on it and it'll pop it. Good God. Did they put them in with a hat?
Dude.
Let's break that one loose and then we'll tighten it back up and then we'll try and break this other one loose. Oh, holy Lord. Oh my God.
This one's spinning too.
It is spinning?
Yeah, you're just spinning it.
You're tightening it back up. Is it that they got a gallon of Loctite on them? Wow. Got it. I broke the bolt, one of the two. Let's see if you can zip that one out. I just broke loose. There we go. There we go. Now try that one over there. Okay. The extension's long enough.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Got it. We won't show that one. So guys, when we tip these over, we always tip it over brake side down. And the reason for that is, because my phone's ringing. The reason for that is, I'll turn it off real quick. Wait for Gunther to get over here. Oh my God, that is good looking. One more time. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That is cute. Okay guys, we're ready to flip the sled over. We always flip it down with the brake lever side down, and for the reason for that is sometimes the drive shaft will get a little stuck in the bearing or get a little rust in there, and if we flip it with the throttle side down, we can't get to it that easy. This way we can get a hammer or something on it, but make sure if you hit it, you don't mushroom it out. Make sure you have something soft and stuff like that. So we're ready to flip this thing over. So this is pretty easy. When you go to pull the skid, push it all the way forward, pull the back out first, just like that, whammy, just like that. So guys, right here you can see how the track's on a bind with the drive shaft right there, but here's a little trick, especially if you're by yourself. Pick the track up, put it on the skid, see how it holds it a lot straighter? Now the track isn't binding the drive shaft and it's easier to get it out, so we'll see if we can get it out. Is it still stuck on the... It sounds like it is. It's stuck on there. Oh, there it goes. Now spin it a little bit. There it goes, just like that. Boom. Yep, pushes out on the flangette side. No big deal. So guys, the reason why we are marking the drive shaft, as we'll show you here in a minute with a straight edge, is we are changing the drivers, okay? The 2.6 track that we're taking off of the sled is a 286 pitch, and that is the difference in between the drivers, okay? This is a 3.5 inch pitch. This is a different track. We're putting on a 165 275 with a 3.5 inch pitch. So we have to change the drivers, so we have to press these old stock drivers off and put these drivers on to match the pitch of the track. All right? So what we did is, the easiest way to do this is you want to do it before, but it drives in 3 spots, right? These are extrovert drivers. These are made by Avid. Andrew Upton, super nice guy, out of Montana. We've been running these for quite a while on aftermarket builds and stuff. Good quality, really nice guy, super knowledgeable, and you can see how they're notched. This is also notched, so they go in a specific spot. So it's just one more thing to help from slipping, right? So it's notched, so you can put these on the wrong way. We match these up with this, and the reason why we can do that is we measure the distance between this and the single extrovert head on there, and these were the same distance, so this means this hasn't moved. Sometimes when you hit a stump or something, this can move. So we measured this, they're both right on 1 inch, so I feel confident that we can just mark this, and it should line up pretty well. And we just use a straight edge, like a file or something like that. If you have a metal ruler or in your kid's school box or whatever, just a straight edge to mark that as accurately as you can, because once we take these off, we have no reference. It's a lot harder to do to measure off the track when it's in the sled. So we're gonna do it this way, and it should work out pretty good.
So guys, we're getting ready to press these off. And you want to make sure you do it on the spline side, not on this side. You've got this flange here, and the drivers won't come off.
So boys and girls, drive shaft. Remember, these need to be onto the inside. The extrovert goes to the outside, so here we have our reference mark. So it's going to end up like this when we get it put on there. You can put them on wrong, and then you got to take them all the way back off, and it takes forever. And like we talked about, see how it's got these ridges, 3 ridges? It's got the 3 recessed spots there, so it's going to go just like this. It's not going to fit like this, won't work. It goes just like this. So we'll start. Guys, this is a pretty tedious process, especially with our old press here, but it works just fine, you know. But just take your time and get it to that mark, and
when you press these on, you press it on the flange side.
Yep. So we're doing the exact opposite.
Yeah.
So we're doing it the opposite way. So we're going to press down on this side. Make sure you're not messing with this bearing. We use a socket with something that fits in there good, and works out pretty good. Keep it simple, stupid. Can't tell if it's in the things or not. You know? Mm-hmm. Should be. Let's put it in. Let's see where we're at.
I could see it. It's in the things.
It is?
Yeah, down the bottom.
Perfect. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Let's try it.
Yeah. They have arrows on it.
Yep. These are directional.
Cool.
Try that. These are a little tougher to get into because these are so big, but we'll get it. There we go. Push that in.
Spin. There you go.
There you go.
What am I caught on here?
You can go down more.
Do I?
Yeah.
I can't get down anymore.
Push that in. There we go. It really pays to have a buddy.
It's caught on something. Check that flange down there. Make sure it's not catching.
You're good. I think it's pretty much in. Looks good up here. Yeah, there's no sleeve showing.
All right.
I think we're good, man.
Yeah.
It's looking good. Cool, just like that. Now we're gonna swap some rails. So guys, after we get the drive shaft in, the tracks in, we gotta roll it back over before we put the skid back in. Get that flangette back on, because once you put the skid in, it makes it tight and it starts pulling on that track, which pulls on the drive shaft, and it's almost impossible to line up the flangette. So it's a lot better to do it right now. Just like that. Cool.
All right. So when you put this back on, you want to make sure that this part, there's a little rivet down there. Make sure that's down. And the best way to do this, well, you want Loctite. Loctite all of these.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Generous with the Loctite.
So you want to get this lined up. And you want to put these bolts in first with this flange before you even put the bolts into your would be your tunnel.
Bulkhead.
Yeah. Bulkhead.
The other aluminum thing.
Yeah, the other metal parts.
That other metal part that's silver, that's the other part.
So it's a lot easier. Just do it this way. And maybe
It's easier to get it lined up, because sometimes if you do it the other way, that flange will get a little cockeyed in there, and it'll start to get tight, and it's hard to get it back flat to where it needs to be. So it's you're a lot better off this way because it's already lined up. Then you can move it up. Then put the other bolts in the bulkhead there. Just like that.
Yep.
And guys, if you don't have a buddy for this, you can put a pry bar in here to hold this plastic down for you and put it right up through the running board. Works awesome if you don't have a buddy to help you. Gun.
You'll want to do these three first, like I was saying.
See how it sucks it right in there, nice and tight.
Bring it on there. And then you do these outer ones. There. For the anti-stab, if you have to put that on, you'd have to cut this rail back and then put this back on, put your anti-stab on. This one's already ready for it. See how much shorter it is compared to this one?
Yep, this is a 23 rail. This one's designed for an anti-stab. This is a 2020 rail. And so if you are gonna put it like Lars said, you put it right where this cross shaft is currently, but you do have to cut this amount off. And the way to reference that is I put the cross shaft in and then I'll mark it, and you gotta mark it about 1/8 of an inch behind wherever the front of the wheel is. So when the track comes, it goes around the wheel. Does that make sense? You want the tip of the rail and everything to be behind the furthest part of the wheel. Okay?
Tools, guys.
Some of the basic tools you're going to need to tear this skid apart is a T50 Torx, a T30, and a T45, a 15 end wrench, a 13 end wrench, and a 10 end wrench. And that should do it. And a 16 for your rear axle.
Guys, when you start blowing the skid back together here, there's washers in between all these pivot points. Here, back there, and on the inside of this front torque arm on the bottom part for the shock mount. It goes bolt, rail, washer, and then the shaft, okay? So these aren't tight yet, we leave these loose so we can get this washer in here. It's kind of a pain in the butt sometimes, but they need to be in there. There you go. That one's good. So that one started, then we can shift it over.
Another thing, there's washers in between here and your axle. It goes in between your bogie and in here, and it goes in here, and then your axle goes through.
Nice. There she is. Oh, a little too far. There we go. Perfect. Wiggle it. Oh, nothing yet. Oh, I think that's it. Just a second. Start it a little bit. Got it.
Look at that, money.
Top one. Hold it right there, don't move. Cool. We ain't got no brakes, so let's try and do it without them. There we go, just like that. So guys, if you flip it up like this, because we don't have any brakes, if you put the belt drive on, then you can lock the brakes and it'll lock the track, and then we can use it to pry on the rear torque arm. But this way works good too. Use the track as a little bit of leverage here because there's not that much tension. You push this forward, okay, go up. Go. Oh, wait right there. Go down, just a stitch. Oh, stop. That was weird, why did you do that? Huh, perfect. Don't move. Just like that. Then we'll put the secondary on, put the belt on, put the belt drive back on, torque the bolts on the belt drive, and then we'll check the track and the alignment, things like that, and then we'll go ride it. But as we put a little bit of anti-seize on these, I mean, it definitely does its job. Anti-seize for me is like grease. I get it everywhere. So it just helps the pulleys go on a little bit. Don't need a ton of it. Just help it out a little bit. There we go. Sweet.
Cool. Then we'll put these on. These help you put your, oh boy, your belt drive on a little bit easier. You can get it on there without these. If it's a little used or worn, you can get them on there, but brand new ones is pretty tough.
Oh, you're looking at some cutie.
Another thing too, this says this side out. Make sure that is out.
Or it will fall off.
And your belt is also directional.
Nice.
There we go.
That was fast.
Only a minute and 30 seconds.
Cool.
So,
Okay, that's on.
If you need a belt drive put on, just have Lars do it.
Get a little practice. Cool, and then we'll take these out. Put our bolts back in. Loctite them. So then I like to just zip them up just a little bit. And you torque these up, and it's 44 foot-pounds. Okay, that's it.
Tab back in. There it is. Nope, not quite.
You also want to make sure your washers are in there still, which they are. And like I said, there's torque specs for everything, but with this, we just snug it up like that and run it. Make sure the brakes before you do this, you blow your shoulder out. Take your tool back out. And you always want to adjust your belt back up to its original deflection, because you will ruin a belt. There.
Cool. And guys, if you haven't seen our clutch cleaning video, this is a great time to watch the clutch cleaning video, because you can also clean the clutches at this point too if you wanted. And there's all sorts of stuff in there about belt deflection, what we use, all that kind of stuff. Really, really cool video we did. Lots of detail, and something we take pretty seriously. Cool. A few plastic clips and some panels, and we'll go ride it. So guys, I'm getting ready to go ride it. And one thing is the track alignment. So there's a big gap right here, and on the other side there's no gap. So it's maybe a stitch loose, and this track's pretty new, so it might stretch a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen this jam nut on this side, okay? And we're gonna tighten this side, right? And then what it's gonna do is it's gonna push the track that way.
Oh yeah.
So now, after tightening that side, the gap over here and the gap over there, they don't have to be exactly perfect, but as long as they're really close and your tracks are lined on the rails and everything is hunky-dory and works good. Next one's gonna cost you a tank. So guys, well, we just did a track swap, a driver swap. We didn't have to cut the rails, that was sweet. You know, we put anti-stabs on there as well. Brandon's gonna be super happy with this thing. We just went and rode it out in the field. It's gonna rip, man. Super excited for him. And you know, guys, hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you had a little bit of fun along the way. And if there's something you really wanna see, I know we keep getting suspension requests. Suspension is kind of tricky. There's no right or wrong way to set it up. So I mean, we can do another video on that and walk through it. But if there's something you really wanna see, there's something you wanna learn how to do, say it in the comments and we'll do the best we can to address it. So, saying, Lars, ET behind the camera, sometimes Spud behind the camera. Thanks guys, appreciate you watching the channel and supporting us.